So, I'm currently deep into illustrating a new children's book, and I can already tell this is going to be one of those projects that changes me a little. Not because it's perfect or polished, it's definitely still messy and midway, but because of how much of me I'm pouring into it. I wanted to share a bit of the process with you, not just the technical stuff though, I'll touch on that, but more about the emotional side, the self doubt, and the breakthroughs, the moments where I remember why I started this in the first place. Honestly, I didn't plan to illustrate this book this year, but one day I found myself scribbling in my sketchbook tiny thumbnails, scattered notes, and it just kind of grew. Something about this project felt different. It felt necessary. I think part of it is that my main character is a little black boy, and I didn't grow up seeing characters like that in picture books. Not ones that look like me or my cousins or kids in my family. That part still makes me emotional, because even now, we don't always get to be the center of stories that are soft, tender, expressive, or magical. So, I carry that with me in every drawing to add a little bit of diversity. Before I opened up my drawing software, I sat with the story for a bit. I asked myself what moments feel important, where's the emotion. Then I started doing my real rough thumbnails in my physical sketchbook. I'm talking wobbly stick figures and boxes with arrows, but that's the thing. I don't start perfect, I start loose. That's where the magic happens. A tip for fellow artists, don't try to nail the final composition straight away. Doodle first, get messy, trust your brain is working things out even if it looks chaotic on the page. Once I have a rough layout, I switch to my Wacom. That's where I do my refined sketching, but I still keep it playful. No pressure, just curiosity. If I'm tensing up too much, I take a step back. Here's the fun twist though. I'm mixing in collage with my digital work. I'll paint or draw bits and textures with colored pencils, paints, alcohol markers, and then photograph them with my iPhone and bring them into Procreate. There's something so satisfying about seeing handmade textures inside a polished digital piece. It adds this rawness that feels human and warm, perfect for the story that has emotional layers. If you've never tried this before, I highly recommend it. It's a beautiful way to blend analog and digital, and your art instantly feels more textured and alive. Now, here's where it got tough. Midway through this project, I hit a wall. That familiar voice crept in. Who do you think you are? Is this even good enough? Will anyone even care? That voice is so sneaky, and it always shows up right when you think you're starting to make progress. I know it's fear, but it's part of the process. But it still sucks when you're in it. So, what did I do? I stepped away. Made some tea, rewatched an old Studio Ghibli film, journaled, and then came back the next day and just drew one thing. Just one shoe, or a chair, or a cloud, whatever felt doable. Small wins matter. If you're in that space where you're overwhelmed and unsure, start with one small drawing, one piece, then another. That's how you get momentum back, gently. After that dip, I slowly started to reconnect with why I even started. Not for likes, not for perfection, not even for publishing, though I'll definitely be submitting it to publishers. But because I had something I wanted to say, not with words, but with pictures. And when I looked at the little black boy on my screen, the way I had drawn his expressions, his emotions, his curls, it hit me, this matters. Not because it's groundbreaking, but because it's true. It's felt. It's something I didn't have growing up, and now I'm creating it. That's when I started trusting myself again, not fully, not all at the same time, but enough to keep going. I'm about halfway through the book now, still sketching pages, still playing with collage textures, still second guessing everything. But I'm proud. This process has taught me so much, not just about drawing, but about listening to my creative voice, letting it lead, even when it whispers instead of shouts. This also made me realize how important it is to make room for diverse characters in our art. Not just as, box ticking exercise, but as a reflection of reality. Our stories matter, our faces matter, and kids deserve to see themselves as heroes, dreamers, explorers, and feelers. What I've learned so far is that it's important to start messy, let the bad sketches happen, they're part of the process. Collage is magic. Real world textures breathe texture and life into digital work. Mid-project doubt is normal. Rest, don't quit. Draw from feelings. The emotion behind the lines is what connects most. Representation is power. Your characters matter, especially when they reflect the kids who don't feel like they see themselves often in stories. If you're an artist watching this, please don't give up on your project. Even if it's taking ages, even if you're scared, even if you feel like everyone else is miles ahead, just keep showing up, keep drawing, keep learning. That's literally how I got here. One wobbly thumbnail and scan collage piece at a time. You've got this, and your story, wherever it is, deserves to be told. So I hope this inspires you to get started on yours.